Hi, I'm George K. and this is my father Niels. Welcome back to another episode of Father and Sonthesizer. This is our 12th episode. I can't believe it's been 3 months already. That's a long time.
Awesome, eh?
Yeah, 12 episodes, wow. As you can see, we changed the set a little. We moved the workstation from where the camera is standing to this place, right here, which is a lot more convenient to build and more comfortable as well. But it meant a little change in the setup for these videos. For example, we have a light now. So today we're presenting you with yet another previous project, as our other projects are pretty much on hold for the moment. We haven't gotten much done, have we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this other previous project is another Ray Wilson project, another Music from Outer Space project. It's the Sonic Multiplier, the ring modulator module. And we built that quite a while ago.
Yeah.
That was also part of my live rack setup. Let's first explain what a ring modulator is and what it does.
Right. A ring modulator is based around the AD633 chip, which is an analog multiplier. So what the Sonic Multiplier from Ray Wilson does is he accepts an external music source, and it has an internal sinus oscillator which is CV controlled. If you apply that, let's say you have you speak into a microphone, feed that on one line of the ring modulator, and then let it multiply with the sinus oscillator, you get all kinds of weird distortions, weird sounds.
It sounds kind of FM-ish.
Yeah.
It's I'll show you a short sound demo now, using it as usual in a bass patch and again with some drums as well.
Wasn't that what they used for the Dalek voice?
I think it was what they used for the Dalek voice.
Yeah, I think so.
So what we have here is my modular synth, this time lit up a little better than usual. And what we have going is a basic bass patch. That's the usual bass patch I always use. Now let's throw some ring modulation on this. That's just the straight signal. It's the internal sine wave generator, and yeah, it sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? Because we don't have a clean signal to mix it with. But now let's try using this sine wave to modulate the bass filter. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That's how I like using it the most. Now I've got some drums here as well. Now let's run these hi-hats through the ring mod. Now what we can do is we've got a few LFOs on here on the multi-module. We can use one of these LFOs and modulate the sine wave. Now that sounds really cool and interesting. But what we can also do is, instead of using the internal sine wave generator, we can also use another LFO or VCO. And luckily I've got a VCO right here. And I think this would sound really cool on the bass again. Let's try that. And this is how quickly you can get a major rat's nest on cables. It's insane. Now let's try a different waveform. Let's go for a saw. See, that's for a bit more eccentric sounds, but it sounds really cool on the drums. Now let's get back to this. So now that you've heard what my ring modulator sounds like, let's talk about the build.
The build is medium complexity.
I'd say. For intermediate.
Yeah. As I explained, the heart is the multiplier chip, and this one is also the most expensive part on the whole project.
It's like 10 euros for the single chip.
Yeah, it fetches easily 10 euro, which is okay, I guess. All the rest is more or less standard parts, quad op amps and so on. Nothing special there. Of course, I decided to build my own PCB, and and when I was done building it, I turned on the power, and a nice fumous smoke rose above my PCB.
You know, as they say, every machine, if used wrong enough, can be a smoke machine.
Indeed, and this one was. So it took me not long to figure out what went wrong. You remember one of the first videos I said, always check your power supply before you put the chips onto the board and check, polarity of the power supply? Well,
guess who didn't do that?
Yes, and guess why I did recommend that? Because exactly that was happening. I was stupid enough on the PCB, on the schematic actually, to switch plus and minus 12 volt. And fortunately only one chip I already put on the board was a quad op amp, and he didn't like that.
Yeah, completely fried.
Fortunately nothing else was lost, and those chips are a dime a dozen, so not really a problem. After that was fixed, the build was actually quite easy. The ring modulator started to work, and we were really impressed about the sinus oscillator.
The sinus oscillator is really impressive. It sounds really cool, as you've already heard, probably. So that was the Sonic Multiplier by Ray Wilson, music from outer space. Now let's keep going with our other projects that we're working on at the moment. The Wavetable Synth, we haven't talked about that in a little while, have we?
We did not.
It is our longest running project. I don't think we've ever taken... It must be around 3 months now for this single project.
I think so.
It's never taken us this long to finish anything, not even the very first synth. Even that was finished quicker than 3 months.
Yeah.
But what's been the main problem that's been bothering us lately?
The digital part on the SCM is fine. It's only a little bit work left that I have to do.
Like some cards and some effects.
Some menus so that you can do the proper adjustment. Nothing really difficult. But our plan, as we mentioned before, was to have an analog voltage controlled filter with a voltage controlled amplifier behind it. We decided to try something new and went for the Raging Bull schematics for such a VCF, and which is based on the Moog design.
I think we've shown it to you before on this show.
It's a transistor layer filter.
Yeah, but in the end we decided against using it because it was distorting the signal horribly, and it just didn't work. There must be some bug in there, some glitch, some gremlin.
There's something wrong with the VCA. Either I did something wrong, or I don't know. Probably it's me to blame, but I was just fed up with this, and we decided this weekend to go Ray Wilson again.
Yeah, he's our savior, our saint.
And so I created a PCB for the 24 dB VCF.
Yeah, the
low-pass VCF filter, and
it's the same one I have in my rack already. You've heard it hundreds of times in my videos.
yeah.
And by hundreds, I mean 12.
And I added also a Ray Wilson VCA to that.
Yeah,
So
same setup as before, just a different filter design. We're gonna see how that works, then we'll finish it off and make an episode about that. Then we've also been working on yet another project, the Algorithmic drum computer.
yeah.
It's still very theoretical. We've only got a few example type things, but it's very promising. It's going to be a drum computer with 3 times polyphony, and instead of playing back samples, it's going to emulate drum sounds, ranging from an acoustic kick drum to weird bell type sounds. And it's going to be randomized as well, so it's going to be generative, and it's going to be really cool, but it's still a lot of work to come. And with that, we come to another update for this show. Because so far we've been doing 1 episode a week, and it's been a lot of work. And we haven't always had a module ready for this. So we've decided to turn this thing into an update show where we're going to do bi-weekly. That's the bi-weekly, that means twice a month and not twice a week. 1 time every other week. 1 show every 2 weeks. And we're going to do an update on the projects, how they're going. And then we're going to do another big video for every major module that we finish.
And if we happen to stumble upon some old projects, we might present them as well.
Yeah, if we still find something fun in the attic. But that'll be that for now. So episode 13 will not come out next week, but the week after that. And we're already discussing what to build for a Halloween module.
Discussions yet.
Discussions.
Only discussions.
There might be a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So, as always, thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you again, not next week, but in 2 weeks. And check out my Instagram in the meantime. I post on there a bit. And also our website, that's fatherandsonthizer.wordpress.com. That's where we post all our schematics and all of that good stuff. Please remember to like and subscribe, and maybe comment if there's anything you want to talk about. Remember, stay curious.